Morgan. So, a few different things. One, this is going to look very different than my other podcast. Two, you're wondering, what's going on? I don't really understand. Who are these people? Can't wait to introduce them. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Aidan and Maverick.
Perfect. I love it.
Welcome to the podcast. How you guys feeling tonight?
I'm doing great. It's my first time on. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. Maverick, how do you feel?
About the same way.
Both the same way. So backstory is Aidan and Maverick are actually my brothers, some of their best friends. And I had said on my last podcast that I was going to get a family member on the pod. And that person, whom I love very much, canceled. It's okay, Mom. I still love you. But yeah, so I was like, yo, are you guys down to be on the podcast? And they said, yeah. So we don't really know. You know, we basically, these guys are 18, 19? How old are you guys?
I just turned 18.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Oh, that's the wrong one. There you go. Still the wrong one. There we go. Happy birthday, Aidan.
Thank you.
Maverick, how old are you?
I'm 19. Turned 19 back in November. So.
Okay, happy birthday, yeah. So, you know, upon conversation, these guys are 18, 19, college and the workforce, really just kind of like getting into the thick of it. And obviously I'm 24 and have just gone through so much life. So excited to kind of break down and just, I don't know, have a goofy podcast and just chop it up about school, life, everything. So first and foremost, you know, my listeners don't really know who you guys are. I mean, to be honest, like I don't super know who you guys are really either. So if you could just kind of go through and say, you know, where you're from and, you know, your current job, like what you're doing right now.
All right. So I graduated from Pulaski High School in the class of 2023. And currently I'm a student at Fox Valley Community College. And right after graduation, I moved out into a house in O'Connell, Wisconsin. And I'm living there with a roommate. And for a job right now, I currently work for Badger Bins. It's kind of like under waste management. We wash trash cans. Not proud of it, but it is what I do. It puts food on the table for me. But I had to work to pay for school, and it pays for all my rent, utilities, so.
Period. Yeah, Aidan. That's the wrong button.
We'll get it right one time.
He's in the grind.
We are
I'm
in the grind.
I'm up here. Please don't leave me hanging right here, Aidan. This is so awkward.
Come on, don't be disrespectful to the host.
So sidebar,
Sorry.
My brother Tyler and his friend Mason, we've actually never met. It's nice to meet you. I'm Morgan. I'm the oldest sister. I'm the oldest, the OG. I don't even know if you guys really knew you went on vacation with our family one time, so I would hope you know who I am.
I know who you are.
Yeah, you know who I am. Maverick, I mean, I've seen you around the block, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who I am. Did you know who I was?
Seen you a couple times. I've seen Lauren more often, but you've been here like once or twice.
Yeah, you know, occasionally I do live here, so, yeah. But okay, yeah, you know, what would be, before we get into Maverick, what would be your ideal dream job? I mean, right, you're in the grind. We've all had to have jobs that just had to pay for stuff, you know?
I'm not exactly sure the ideal dream job and what I would be doing, but the ideal dream job opportunity would be make the most amount of money with the least amount of time spent on the job. But
That's
if it
not a
had
job.
to be if it had to be like a true job, I would actually love working with people in some sort of way. And with that, I would love to work with people throughout like business, sort of a sales. And if I had to sell something, I would love to be sort of selling any like outfitter stuff, as in like duck hunting, duck calls, any sort of that thing.
Okay, yeah. Shoot for the stars, you know, have a dream, keep on the grind. It's hard, but you never know what can happen. So, okay, all right, Maverick, let's pass the baton to Maverick now.
All right, so
Maverick, is it like you have like Mav? What's more
Beef.
comfortable?
His name is Beef.
What's a nickname that you would like me to call you?
Maverick's fine.
Okay.
Not Beef.
Okay.
But so my dream job, you know, it's called a dream job for a reason, Aidan, not a businessman.
All right, hey.
But
my first,
definitely
my
like
first podcast.
You know.
You're good. I've been here before. No, but probably like a fitness influencer, because their life is pretty much mine right now, except they're famous for it. Like I lift all the time, and like it actually like brings happiness, and I feel like if you could do that for a job and actually help people out, like that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So
And-
you skip the where are you from part and what are you currently doing? It's okay if it's your first podcast. I'm just kidding.
I'm from Pulaski, Wisconsin. I currently go to Minnesota State Mankato for school. this is my first year there. I played football this past year, but I mean, it's all right. Pretty cold out there, but the football experience, it was very interesting in the things you learn about yourself and if you really want to be in football. But overall, it's pretty fun. Dorm life's kind of crammed, but next year apartment should be pretty solid. About $650 a month out there for a 3-person. So it's kind of expensive, but better than dorm life.
For sure. And there's a lot to unpack there because, I mean, I have a lot of guy friends I've had on the podcast that play football, and it really is a huge grind. So if you were to say first of all, what's your position in football?
I was a running back this year. I was ineligible because of my grades in high school. It's kind of embarrassing, but I was not up to par on the academics. So, yeah, this year is pretty much scout team and just lifting. So
what's been the most rewarding part of playing football, and what's been the most challenging part?
Challenging part is definitely like the drive to want to go out there every day, knowing that you're not going to play, but like still giving it your all for the older guys. But the fun part would be hanging out with everyone. It's a built-in friends and family, people you can count on. Like they set me up with all my advisors and been checking in on me to get all my stuff in and grades up. So that's been nice. For sure.
And what are you studying in school right now?
I'm a business major right now. I'm not really down on like what part of business, but I'm only a gen ed, so I don't really need to know right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you guys are in a really cool position because, I mean, I'm 24 and I'm still figuring out, like, what do I want out of life? You know, I feel like that question doesn't really go away after you graduate. Like, when you graduate, you kind of have a better idea of maybe a direction, but you're always still learning. So I think it's a good position because you guys are young, you're in it, you're feeling the emotions. So let's break the ice a little bit. So, like, one thing we do on my podcast a lot is, like, what's a fun fact, you know? What's a weird fun fact? So I'll know a lot of things. I can always start too if that's easier.
If you could please start.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, I want to do one that maybe I haven't said all the time. I do a lot of weird ones. Okay, weird fun fact. Okay, well, everyone knows I went to circus camp in middle school. Some of these I'm like, I can't say on the podcast.
I don't want it if you're not ready.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Let's hear it.
My fun fact is, it's not really a fun fact. I was actually getting memed on Christmas, but I walked down and my little cousin did call me Kung Fu Panda, and he said I looked like Po the Panda.
You were getting memed on.
Yeah,
this Christmas. Hey, what 3 movies did you watch in a row the other night?
That was Kung Fu Panda.
Is that why?
Shout out to Kung Fu Panda.
Is that why he called you Kung Fu Panda, or why would he?
I was wearing a white sweatshirt and black pants, and he said I looked like Kung Fu Panda. That's the most fun fact I have about myself.
Hey, that's pretty good. You know, I've never been called that, so rock on. Maverick, do you have one or not yet?
I guess I got like 3 fake teeth. Me and my dad were wrestling back in about 6th grade, and I fell right on my face.
Are they in the back, or are they like?
No, they're the front two.
The front two.
Yeah, I got to get permanent soon.
I feel like it's actually more common than you think, to be honest.
Yeah, Aidan knocked one out one time as well when we were wrestling.
His tooth out. Yeah, I knocked his tooth out.
That's brotherhood, to be honest.
What was the middle school like fun stuff at night called on Fridays?
Friday
fun night.
Friday fun night.
Thank you, Mason. But it was right before one of those. We started wrestling. Gave me a punch to the face, and the tooth was gone.
That's crazy. I think my fun fact is that I have 4 tattoos, and I do plan on getting more in the future, Mom and Dad.
Do you got like a sleeve or just like small tattoos?
I have small ones. Yeah, they all have. Okay, Tyler, you can chill out over there.
You got
I can show you guys what they are later. I'm just. Yeah, so now I just have tiny ones, but it's bad because, in my opinion, they just like don't hurt at all. So it's okay. Moving on. It feels good if you need to let out some steam. So, anyways, so getting through the fun fact portion of the podcast, I think there's a lot. Obviously, you guys are in college, so. One of the biggest things that happens, when you're 18 or 19 is you move out from home. Sometimes you go to college far away. In my case, I went like 11 hours away, or sometimes you stay local for a while. So what has your experience been with, leaving your parents' house and kind of going out on your own? You can start with
the biggest experience for me was definitely as soon as I graduated high school, I did move out right away. So it's time away from family.
Now, are
I've
you the
never
youngest or what? 8?
I am the oldest in my family.
You're the oldest,
So
okay.
first one to leave. And the most struggling thing is, for me, I wasn't ever really exactly really close with my family. But the more you notice about it is the time away from them, which is spent. And a lot of it, honestly, was dishes. I hate doing the dishes, and now it's all on me.
You got a dishwasher where you're at, or
I
what?
do not have a dishwasher.
Dang,
You have someone that comes and cleans your house for you, though.
That's
I
tough.
do not. Get this dude out of here.
That is hard, yeah. For sure, is having to just figure out, too, like in your own schedule, when am I going to clean this and when am I going to do that?
Yeah. No, another thing would be leaving home is taking care. I live in a house, so all the lawn care, everything else is by myself. And I don't know. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
I always say, too, I'm such an apartment person. Like, I live in a loft. My friends are like, no, houses. But I'm like, you're having to pay for, the lawn, snow, all the, if something goes down, where apartments, they typically just take care of all that stuff. So I'm an advocate. But, yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're in a cool position and a cool place.
Yeah, so for me, college is about 5.5 hours away from here. But overall, dorm life hasn't been too hard. For the meal plan, it's all my food every day. I don't have to cook or anything unless I really want to, but I don't know how to cook, so that's out for me. But
What are you, the oldest or youngest or middle in your
I'm
family?
the oldest. So
you're both the oldest.
Yeah. So this is my parents'
First
time.
babies to leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
And none of us really knew what we were doing. So
Was it hard leaving home, like being the oldest, being 5 hours away, or no?
Not really. It might sound bad, but I don't really miss my family very often. I spent the last 18 years with them.
Oh my god!
So, I guess for me, getting out.
I don't think he means that. Like,
Not in a bad way, but I don't get homesick.
No, he's trying to say it feels nice to have his own space and be on his own and figure stuff out on his own.
Yeah,
There's a
that's
better way to word that.
Yeah, it came out wrong.
okay.
We're getting canceled.
So we're totally gonna get deeper and more vulnerable in the pod too. But let's just stop for a second and get kind of girly pop with it. So I know what dating is like in my life at 24, and let me tell you, it gets so much worse than it is for you right now.
It gets worse?
It gets so much worse.
It can't. There is no way.
First of all,
Nope.
it gets. If you guys, there's so many women in southern states, so there's a shortage of men, I swear. But let's talk about what dating is like right now for you guys. Have you met first of all, what are you looking? Are you talking to anybody? Are you dating? What are you looking for right now at your age of 19?
My relationship status as of right now is non-existent. But I don't feel like the first 2 years of college should be looking for a relationship because it's unrealistic.
No, that's good. I agree. Yeah.
So I don't think you should waste your time on that. From my
so if we went in your phone
far.
right now, there's no girls in there?
That's
Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But don't try too hard. If it's there, it's there. If not, don't go for it.
Wait, before we move on, okay, so what's the number one, do you have a type or no?
Pretty blondes.
Man, blondes are everywhere. That's 90% of the college chicks. All blonde.
Honestly, my one opinion is that all blondes are hot, but a hot brunette is hotter than a hot blonde.
Yep, there we go.
Thank you.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. We're a house full of brunettes. We're going to applause that. That's funny. Okay, so before we move on to Aidan, so what would be if you say, what would be a number one thing you're looking for in terms of actually a quality character trait?
Loyalty.
Okay. And then what is something that is an ick for you? It can be stupid, it could be, or whatever, but what's something that's immediately gross, disgusting, not interested?
I'm gonna have to think on it.
Think on it. Okay, Aidan, what about you? Relationship status?
I got out of a pretty, actually extremely toxic relationship just about over 6 months ago. So currently I'm not looking to get right back into that.
We're anti-toxic relationships in this house.
Can we check your DMs?
You're not allowed to check my DMs. She still tries to contact me, but I do not respond.
Hey, they always come back, so.
But no, I'm not looking for anything serious. I gotta get my life together before I can put myself into someone else's life and actually have it be serious.
Yeah, I think that's mature. I think that's good. So you're both just young, not even looking for anything serious then. Would you say in this time of being single that you've been really intentional and trying to become like the man you want to become, whether that's like emotionally, physically, mentally?
I would say I'd like to think so, but at the same time, looking back recently, like I could have done more for sure. Like I'd like to think I'm doing the best I can and like doing everything every day to be better, but realistically that's just not true. Like, you got to be real with yourself before you can.
I think that I have taken time and I've looked back on it. Like I definitely do not do the same things I've done in the past, and that's also from like personal experiences. And I also can see through things from also personal experiences. Like, so I see the same personality traits in other women that I've seen in my previous one that I tend to like stay away for or veer away from. That's about it. Working on myself though, I've been doing that.
That's good.
Lift every day. O'Connell Gym. Shout out.
O'Connell Gym.
One thing we do support on my podcast is therapy too, and I'm not saying you guys have to be on it, but I'm always saying, like, when I got through with my toxic thing, there was a lot that wasn't even about the person that were like triggering to me of like things that happened.
Do you go to therapy?
I did 2 years ago, and just kind of talked through some things, because there were a lot of things that I was like, if I heard a certain word, I would get triggered, and I'm like, well, that's not healthy. And so being able to, you know, for a while, like really let a good man like take me on a date and treat me well, I had to kind of talk through some things. I think everybody at some point in their life should go to therapy. It's not this like sissy thing for just girls. It's attractive when a guy is like, I'm not mentally okay, let me get my crap right, and I want to be healthy. Like, that's just a fact. So
I believe
that everyone has their own therapy. Like, my therapy would be like, I pray.
That's
like,
good, yeah.
I find therapy through other things, which would be like, for me, I'm Christian, so I pray. Like, that's my kind of therapy.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah.
Definitely. There's a lot of ways, I think, for a man, I know it's hard. It's harder for us to come out emotionally on the way we think or the way we feel. And there's a lot of guys that I personally know that you kind of take out all your emotions, whether it's going to the gym, going fishing, you go think, kind of calm down. But it's hard, especially for me to talk to somebody, especially on a podcast. It's my first time on camera, but really get emotional with someone.
You're doing great. You're doing good.
And it's hard to get deep into the conversation and the way you feel, because I'm not 100% knowing on how I really feel half the time.
So let me ask you a question just on the topic of relationships. So I'm 24, and what I see in where I live in Missouri, and for me, I did a lot of dating and stuff in college, and then obviously it gets harder. And I'm not a dating app person. I have never had good experiences. I don't want to meet my person that way. I'm not judging anyone else, especially if you're not looking for anything.
No.
But what I'm saying is, like, when you're 24, it is icky. But what I've noticed is a lot of guys my age are, at least, and I know it's not all over the country, because I've gone to other states and there will be guys who are like, hey, you're beautiful, can I get your number? But a lot of guys will not approach a girl unless they know for sure she's going to say yes.
Do you think that guys should approach more often?
Oh, yes. I always say, too, there will be guys that are not my type, that I don't think are cute, but if they come out to me with confidence and they're funny, I'm going to talk to them. Like, unless they're, you know, if they're super, like, annoying and they won't leave me alone, then it's like, read the room. But guys don't try. And that's the thing, is girls, you would be surprised. If a guy just came up and was like, hey, I saw you from across the room, my name is Aidan, I just wanted to say I think you're beautiful. Girls will be like, oh my gosh, nobody does that. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that nowadays the whole talking about direct messages, DMs, or Tinder.
In person's better.
But that's all kind of taking everything away from the true just face-to-face conversations. Yeah.
So do you think, like, in your generation, because you guys are clearly a few years younger than me, do you think it's gotten worse where dudes are even more afraid? Like, when was the last time you approached a girl? Or do you think it is getting better? Hey, Slay, vibes.
Last weekend. I love talking. I love talking to women. It's actually one of the strong suits. As soon as I break the nervous barrier, but I love speaking, and I love being weird and funny and saying just like weird out of pocket, but not like too out of pocket.
I'll give it to him. He's got Riz. I won't lie. I've been there first-hand witness.
So what's your line? Like, do you have like a line that you use?
My best line is no. I do not have a serious line that's been going on the internet forever. But one of my best lines is I'll go in my head and I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and I just walk up. I don't think. I say the first thing that comes in my mind.
Okay, so in past circumstances, what has that been? It's like you go up to a girl and you're like, yellow. Like, what are you saying?
Hey.
It's not. Hey, it's usually, it does like say we're at a party, I'll just count. I'll say nothing, and then I'll walk up to her, and it's either the eyes, hair, or if I already know her, I'll bring up something that funny might have happened like between us, just something random, and then I'll just sit there and talk to her about things just randomly, and eventually I'll get a little more deeper conversation.
Guys, resolutions right here from Aidan. Take notes. Maverick, do you have the same process as well?
No, me and him are not alike in that way. He can talk to a wall, so.
So when you're like trying to pursue a girl, you know, when you are ready for a relationship, like, do you approach women or what's your tactic?
Yeah, I always talk first. It's usually just something simple. To just like, because bro, come on now. But it's like, it's easy for me to like read if like they actually are interested compared to like if they're not. So if it's something simple and they actually like give you like a conversation back and like their talk, like you can talk to them pretty easy. Yeah. It's like easier to read that than like if they don't talk, then you know. It's just like why. Like, I'm not going to try super hard for that.
That's good. That's good. I will say this. I mean, I don't know. Like, being 24, and this is different. When I was 22, I used Snapchat all the time. But being 24, if a guy's like, can I get your Snapchat? I say no. Because I lie. I
number say, better, right?
Yeah, number. I'm like, I don't. You get to a certain point where you're like.
I actually do have a pickup line for the men out there.
Okay.
I did forget about this one, but this one did work. I walked up to a girl at a party, and I said that my phone has been dead. Can I use your phone to call my mom so I can get picked up? And I went on her phone, of course. You know, I typed my number in.
Was I there
for myself?
This? Yeah.
And I picked up the phone out of my pocket.
Aiden, was I there for this?
You were
was
there.
Was this at the Pier party?
Yes.
Yes, it was. I remember this one. That was good. That was good.
Did you guys like go on a date or anything after that? Or?
No.
Nope.
That's okay.
He wasn't in the proper state of mind to remember.
It's not about, honestly, a guy has done that line to me. So it did work. I mean, we talked for a while and then it didn't work out.
That's how it be.
It'd be like that. Okay, so getting back into the notes, I mean, I remember in college for me, freshman year was one of the hardest years. And, like, I'm grateful that I did have a college that had, like, I went to, like, a private Christian college, so there was really good counselors and people I could go to. But mentally, it is one of the toughest years, like, the transition and school or, like, working. So how would you say mentally this year has been for you? And are there any, you know, piece of advice you would give to any guys or, you know, girls in your age or going through what you're going through?
I would say for me, learn how to spend your like free time, because you do get bored living in a dorm room. Like, I think everyone's been bored definitely before, but that gets to a whole new level when you're in a dorm room and weekdays, no parties going on, nothing like that. You either gotta like do homework or something, but once you run out of homework, you just got to find something to do, like hobbies. You know, go to the gym, go out to eat, go find people to talk to. I would say just try to keep your life full of stuff that you want to do, so you have something to look forward to every day. And don't focus on the negatives, seriously, because if you can find stuff you want to do and positives in life, you'll look forward to that more than dreadful. Like,
for sure.
Things like that, so.
Yeah. What are some hobbies you do besides?
I mean, lifting takes up like 2 hours a day. Homework's definitely there. I still play video games with Aiden and your brother Tyler Pagel. He didn't want to be on the podcast, but yeah,
I'll get there.
We all live in different states though, so that's a good way to keep in touch with everyone and just pass time overall. But yeah, definitely make friends. Like, I'm pretty close to some of the dudes on our floor just to hang out with and just talk, or just. Honestly, if you meet chicks, ask for the number, Snapchat, anything you want to do. Ask them to go do stuff. I've asked a lot, been denied a lot, but you gotta ask to get it. And once you do, just it's something to do. Yeah. Keep you entertained.
Yeah. Aaron, you have anything to speak to that? Is, just the mental challenges of being 18, 19?
I took a different route than he did. He went to a 4-year college. I went to a tech school. So, for my advice for anyone that went to a tech school and has to pay for it and is currently still working, you're going to see all the parties. They're going to see everyone, like the big parties at the big 4-year colleges. And you got to just like realize that like they're spending a lot more money than you are. So you got to work. And in the end, like, they might have it all, but you got to work, stay focused on what you're doing, and don't let like what everyone else is doing distract you and from where you're trying to get to. Because everyone else has a different path. Yours might not be a huge school, but you have to just stay focused, keep working. It sucks. I'm not going to lie.
Do what you want to do.
and you got to do what you want to do, and you have to do what you're given with, so you can get to where you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it all the time. I mean, there's people that are grinding, they're done with work. And then that's when, oftentimes with their own podcasts, it's like, I'm grinding on it on the weekends after work when other people are, watching movies or doing other things. Like, you often have to really put the work in to reap rewards and cool benefits and things like that. So one more girly pop question before we just continue. What would be like the ideal first date? Like, say one of these girls from the dorm are like, one of the girls that you put your, phone number in her phone, and she's like, oh my God, is it taking me on a date? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Is this me taking them on a date, or are they coming up to me and asking me to go somewhere?
You're ideal.
No, you're taking them.
No,
right, the girl is not planning the first date. I'm sorry, not on this podcast.
Oh, I was just asking. Yeah, it was a girly question.
No,
so
it was a girly question. I'm sorry. There was no clarity there. I'm sorry.
All right, but if it's my ideal date and I'm taking out a girl, I want to go do something. I think ziplining, personally, there's one at the new zoo.
When have you ever gone ziplining with a chick?
You said ideal.
Ideal first date. This is the first date.
This could be like, I can go anywhere. If she's real cute, I'm going ziplining.
So, Morgan, if a dude were to ask you to go ziplining, what's your response to that?
On the first date?
Yeah, first date.
Does he tell me ahead of time?
No,
I would tell you ahead of time.
Okay, well, your ahead of time is probably 2 hours.
All right, perfect.
Okay, ziplining, is it like extreme or is it like something?
It's the new zoo.
I would go because I like sports on a first date. So I like going to the arcade. I like playing ping pong. I like doing those. So
I personally think
is that
I'd be
common?
like, oh my gosh, you put effort in.
It's unforgettable. If I took you to go look at animals and then go down a zip line, there's no way you would forget me.
That's a fact.
Good or bad.
Either way, I'm still gonna be.
That's right. And look at animals. What kind of animals?
It's the zoo. You've never been to the new zoo?
Zoo. Okay.
There's a new zoo. It's probably 15 minutes from here.
All right. I don't get out to the zoo. I only like dogs.
What's your favorite animal in the zoo?
Don't even play with me. The gorilla.
All right, Maverick. What's the ideal first date? The blonde chick. Who's really loyal, like.
Oh yeah, there we go. We're getting somewhere.
She's ready to go on a date. What are you doing?
Literally anything. Like,
get this dude off the cast, bro.
No, but you just gotta ask him to do something in your area. Like you gotta like in Mankato, college town. You gotta.
Okay, but the baddest chick at school, she's giving you a chance. So like you gotta what's the you're planning this date to impress her. What do you got in the itinerary?
I'd figure out whatever she really likes, and I'd plan it around that. Wow. So I'd have to
intentionality. That's good.
Yeah, so I'd find that out, and then once that's done, there's nothing wrong with Netflix.
Get this dude out here.
But yeah, just go do something with it for sure. Whatever she wants to do, and make sure she has a good time.
Not even HBO Max, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Honestly, you don't have to enjoy it. Like as long as they do, just act like you enjoy it, because either way, you're gonna be spending time with them. So
what?
This dude's a bot.
I would hope the man would enjoy the first date with me.
Yeah, because they're the person there, but they don't have to enjoy the activity kind of thing.
I personally think for you, if you're going with a really hot chick, you love to work out. Say the hot chick.
I'd ask her to go on a gym date.
What if you went to the gym, worked out together, and then you went to eat? Maybe you cooked at home, cooked a home dinner with her.
Yeah, I'd find
that would be cool. Imagine making a pizza with your girl.
Bro.
One thing about me is that I don't play games unless it's ping pong at Classics Yard. Classics Yard is Springfield's #1 social sport and game center. It is located in the back of Classic Rock Coffee Company headquarters and next door to the Riff. Coffee, sports, music, what more could you want? Located at 1900 West Sunset Street in Springfield, Missouri. Be sure to check them out, play some games, and reserve your event today. Visit www.classicsyard.com.
Come on now, I'd order Uber Eats. Come on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but if you're home cooking something together.
This is a first date. This is
I'll help her cook. Like TP helped you take out the steaks the other day. He helped cook food.
Bro, you did not cook the food. That's crazy.
I would attempt. It wouldn't be good food, but I would try.
I would totally cook food. That would be so cool.
Okay, what are you gonna make?
Steak.
You can make a good steak.
I've been cooking for myself all week.
I'll be a review. You can cook me a steak.
I cooked steak last night. It was good.
Perfect.
You can ask my dad. You can ask. I can give you 7 other receipts and reviews. Don't ask that. All right, yeah. So that's definitely good advice. I think there's a lot of growth here. I'll tell you one thing. I've told this on my podcast before. One of the weirdest dates I've ever been on was the guy picked me up. And we went to a super nice steakhouse, but we only ordered appetizers. And then he took me.
Did he tell you that? You could only order
He
appetizers?
said, let's just get apps. it'll be like a light thing. And then we went to the mall and he bought us massages. So we separately had massages. And then he took me to a gas station and we bought a lottery ticket.
Man is made of money.
And then he dropped me off.
Massages are expensive. What do you mean?
And then he never called me again. Bro, that was weird. It was weird.
That is weird, bro. Let's go get.
For a first day,
I literally was like, I don't
know.
like, it was just weird.
That's like something you do when you're married. Like, if you want to go get a massage, sure.
Was he attractive?
Yeah, I mean, he was cute, but but it wasn't like we did the massage together. It was like I got the massage, he watched me. He got a massage, I had to watch
that's
him.
weird.
It was
What
weird.
happened
It was
after the
odd.
date?
Was there a second date, or was there just?
He never texted me, called me again. But I wasn't even mad because I was just like, the whole thing was just so weird, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody
odd
else.
vibes.
So we have here in my notes to discuss a little bit about like, personal experiences. Is there anything you want to speak to that or share on that?
Like what kind of personal experiences?
Well, I have in my notes that you wanted to touch on personal experience.
Personal experience is definitely something I've dealt with a lot, and it would be injury. So I've had 19 surgeries.
Okay, so let's back up. So are these from, car crashes, the relationship, football? Like,
my heart is broken from the relationship.
Dang.
But no,
It'd be like that.
my arm, I broke my arm 9 times. So I jumped over I'll tell you the worst one because 9's a lot. But I jumped over a fence and my forearm snapped all the way back to
Why
my
did you jump over a
shoulder.
fence?
Was that your first one?
No, that was the 4th one.
What was the first one?
The first one I was playing soccer and I fell over because I was a fat little kid.
Oh, that's sad. Actually sad, bro.
But no, I jumped over the fence because my dad's buddy. I was a really overweight kid, and he bet me I could not jump over the fence.
Hey, you cleared
So
it.
none of these are like actually from like sports or anything.
Football.
No,
You had
I
one in
broke into
football.
football. I broke
Oh,
into
okay.
football, kickball,
I
baseball.
remember the kickball one. You just
Yeah.
he slid because the doctors messed up his surgery.
Yeah.
He just slid and it broke. Like, that's
So
depressing.
but I snapped it all the way back, so my hand went up to my shoulder, and my bone like stuck through, and it was like completely like off of me, facing the other way, looking all weird.
Dang.
Were you in pain or was it just like a shock? Like
For the first like hour, I felt nothing, but it was during the March Madness basketball tournament in Madison, so like the roads were all packed and everything, so they couldn't get the ambulance through or whatever. So I actually had to run to the hospital with my arm like completely like
Dang.
dangling off of me.
TP over there had to ride a bike one time with a broken arm.
Yeah, that was
TP, when'd you break your arm?
like first grade.
He broke both arms in one summer. You never told them this?
Do you have any scars?
I don't think so.
Or was it like a fracture?
I don't even know.
He broke it. He broke both arms.
But besides the arm surgeries, last 2 years ago now, holy cow! But I tore all my core muscles that attach from like my abdomen down to my pelvic bone.
How did that happen? Oh, rugby.
Hey, Aiden,
Rugby,
can I ask you
football.
a question?
We're not asking to see my scars, Nav.
No, bro. Why you take it like that? If we're getting like personal here, like what happened at the doctor's office when she was
We're not getting into this right now. No,
we're trying to dig deep.
we're not digging deep, beef. That is too deep.
We don't need to, I don't know, and it sounds like I don't want to know.
I had to go to a chiropractor and no, we're not talking about it.
Okay, so.
But I had to go to Philadelphia and I had to get my hips reattached.
Oh my gosh.
So that happened, and coming off of that was like a wild because I played a whole season on like separated like
So
all
can you play
muscles.
sports now or no?
I played sports with it all broken. I played the whole football
How
season.
long were you out for? Was it like what, 4 or 6
The
months?
surgery, honestly, it like I could come out walking right after, but I couldn't do anything for like 4 to 6 months. Yeah,
So how was that mentally? I mean,
mentally it sucks
because
because
That's got to be bad.
were
to
you
go
in
through a
high
major
school still
injury.
or no?
yeah.
So when all your friends are like, is this when you're about to graduate too or no?
Right after our football season, going into my senior year.
That was like the
That's
best time
when
to
it
have it
happened.
though. Like
Yeah.
midwinter when no one's doing anything.
It sucked. Injuries suck in general because everyone's active, moving around, and I love doing that. And I gained a lot of weight as a kid, breaking my arm. I kind of sat inside all summer. And then with the most recent one with the hips, I love to train, and it kind of sucked watching everyone like progress while I got shot back down to ground zero. So to overcome that, you kind of just got to stick it out. And once you do come back, you got to train like twice as hard to get where you actually wanted to be and to catch up to wherever they were.
Do you have any kind of like PTSD of I feel like I have friends who have been in injuries and they're almost like scared to play the sport again or something like.
Do you do certain things that like you feel like you're gonna like break it again?
Yeah, you ever get like anxiety about that
or stuff like that?
Whenever I do shoulder press, it hurts really bad. And for the longest time, flat benching, my left arm hurt because they made me actually go to physical therapy for a whole year after they reset my arm wrong the 4th time.
Wasn't it because it was like shorter?
Yeah, so my forearm came out of the cast at a 90-degree angle, and it was completely bent. And they tried to tell me that looked normal. I looked at him, I was like, that is not normal.
That's what happens when you ChatGPT or medical school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
he cheated his way to the
That's
top.
That's what happens,
man.
bro. Like,
And they sent me to physical therapy for a year, and they're wrenching on my arm, and it would not move. Like, they were trying to supinate it, so I could only go to, like, here, and they were trying to force it all the way over, which I can do now, gratefully. But they ended up sending me to Milwaukee Children's Hospital, I believe. Yeah. So I had to go there and get surgery, and they broke it. Like, they all broke it themselves, and he said the doctor, like, reset me completely wrong.
dang.
So that sucked. So I did a whole year of actual pain and physical therapy for no reason.
So mentally, like,
How long did it take you to come back from that one? Where it was like fine.
I was in a cast for a year straight for that one. And then I came back, and I was in a cast for another 6 months.
When was that, like, in, like, high school, though? Was that like freshman
that was
year?
5th grade. 5th grade.
5th grade?
oh, this wasn't in high school?
No, this was in 5th grade when that one happened. Then in high school, I broke it again.
Yeah, how long were you in it for the high school one?
High school one was 6 months.
So mentally, how is that even, how are you doing after all these breaks? Like, do you not get super frustrated or upset or what?
I'd get pissed. I honestly never really knew how to deal with anything. I just kind of put it behind me and just kind of keep trucking forward.
That's got to be more, like, depressing than, like,
Yeah.
angry. Like, just knowing you can't do anything.
When I broke it my sophomore year of high school in football, it was because we're all bigger guys, and we all got pulled up to varsity. It was the first starting game through again.
Yeah.
So that really sucked.
Especially because of, like, when it was, too. Like, football season like that, like, started. Wasn't it, like, the first or second game?
It was the first game
Yeah.
as a sophomore. Me and all my friends got the starting job as sophomores in football, and I got
Just gone.
cut out of it.
Yeah.
Maverick, do you have any personal experiences you want to share?
Not, like, as bad as his. Because,
Right.
like, 19 surgeries,
Yeah.
that'll have me beat for
Well,
sure.
I know you were kind of talking about earlier, football right now and the way that you kind of been feeling. But
Yeah, I would say if you don't love football coming out of high school, don't do it. Like, you really got
Go try it if you want.
like
Chat.
okay, I said really love it. Like, you got to love the game, because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy it. Like, I liked the game. I was good in high school. I had an opportunity. I'm glad I took the opportunity. But now that, like, this season's over, I don't think I'll be playing next year. And I think that's more because I'm broke. I have no money. I can't get a job. Football takes up too many hours. And I would say that I'd rather just spend all that time that I do on football working on myself, getting a job, doing stuff I want to do with people I want to do it with. Mm-hmm. And so that's just been, like, a huge, like, mental challenge, I guess, rather than physical for
Probably
sure.
challenging realizing that you have to leave it and your family not wanting you to leave it.
And it's been hard with my dad because he just wants what's best for me, and he loves, watching me play football and stuff, but I just don't think he realizes that I want to be done with it now. And even coming out of high school, that, like, I'd rather take the opportunity and a chance knowing that I did it but didn't like
tried.
it. Yeah. Because I'd rather do that than not play and having to live with, I could have went and played.
Yeah.
But now that I did it, it's like, done it. Do I want to keep doing this? No.
Yeah, and a big thing that I say is, prove them wrong. And I think there were some times, like when I went to the college I did, I remember I had people that, weren't supportive of that at the time. Or even with the podcast, people are like, oh, well, that's cute. But it's like, actually, no, I take this really seriously. And so you act like what you're passionate about is serious and you take it serious. And then people are like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is for real. Like, this is what you're about. This is professional. Like, I'm going to take this serious. So, I mean, you got to do what's best for you and, what you feel you're drawn to and what your gut's telling you. Yeah. So I guess there's, we talked about, like, therapy. You mentioned, you pray, the gym, other things like that. It sounds like you guys have both definitely gone through some difficult things, you know, as a kid and stuff like that. You know, in your case, when you had a lot of injuries, you know, and you were in those depressive moments, like, do you wish there was any kind of advice or someone, like, when you were younger, do you wish someone, you know, like, you could have had someone to talk to, or, like, do you have anything you wish happened to you when you were younger in that way, or someone was there for you, or whatever that looks like?
Yes. I can tell you what I wish didn't happen.
Okay.
I wish, instead of my mom, I love my mom, but instead of comforting me, like, by, like, keeping me in, like, feeding me a lot, not like that, not like she force fed me, but, like, I didn't go out and do anything. I know what you mean, though.
She should have,
like, I sat there, like, she felt bad, of course, like, I that's a lot of injuries right there, but I would sit inside, and I gained, like, a lot of weight. Like, I was a big boy. And it really took a toll on me, because, you know, you get bullied being fat or whatever, and it sucks.
You weren't bullied that bad. Come on now.
5th grade was a rough year.
Dude, come on.
But I wish I would have taken the recovery process a lot better than I did. And I wish that I would have had someone to guide me and, like, tell me how to do that better.
And this is just a quick sidebar, too, is, I mean, touching on that topic, is I've had some really close guy friends that were overweight when they were younger, and they're a lot thinner now, but he has PTSD of, like, I'm so scared of putting on that weight again. You know, is there anything
well,
like...
that's definitely real for people.
Like,
I know people that, you know, they got really slim, and they like, eating habits are bad. Like,
I think a lot of it, too, is part of lifting is, like, you bulk up, you get really big, and then you cut the weight. Yeah. And if you were fat previous as, like,
you don't want to get back there.
You do not want to do the bulking process.
Because of fear of what's going to happen.
Fear of, like, you gaining back all your weight.
So would you say with you, like, do you have a good relationship with food? Or do you think sometimes
I think my relationship with food is a little too good.
It's a little too healthy.
Yeah. But you've been eating pretty clean.
It's gotten better. I've definitely tried to take better care of myself now. But I cheat here and there. But now with the workout routine, like, everything, like, I'm getting back into it, and I'm getting ready to go.
That's good.
Have you realized, like, metabolism slowing down at all? Like
me?
Yeah.
No, I mean, but, like, everyone has different genetics. So I got a lot of, like, my grandma genetics. So for me, I have stomach issues, which, I mean, I've shared this on my podcast all the time. You know, there was a few years ago, I had, like, a puking issue. Didn't realize I had, like, gluten intolerances or lactose intolerances, or my body, when I get anxiety, I throw up on site.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, if I get the wrong text from the wrong person, I'll
get nauseous?
Yeah. So certain foods make me sick. So for me, it's not, it's hard work for me to actually eat nutritious. And I don't cook. I don't like to cook. Except for steak. It's, like, the only meal I can make. But, so I have, like, this complete other option is, like, my friends, like, I have to work hard to be like, okay, well, what is healthy? Am I getting enough protein? So, and that's why, like, I love the gym and, like, I'm active in the gym, but also I'm really big on, you know, is the gym, like, your idol? You know, because I have some friends that are, you know, huge, and to them it's like, oh my gosh, well, my legs aren't big enough, like, you hyper fixate on it. And I just think
body dysmorphia.
I think you have to have a good relationship, like, with the gym too. Like, you know, you're more than just your physical physique, you know, like.
Definitely. And a lot of people don't like where you started. So, like, some people that are, like, just starting in the gym, like, they might not look crazy good or whatever, but, like, for them, like, that could be, like, their best. So, like, I think it's really just perspective and where you start.
And it's like people have different goals. Like, I'm not someone, like, for me, I'm like, I love to have good abs and I want to be toned, but I'm not someone that wants to have crazy muscles. I just don't, you know? And so.
And that's all just preference. That's for guys, too, like, getting huge.
I think a lot of it is actually the influencers, too. Like, influencers. Like, you see them and then you look at yourself and it's like.
Yeah. Well, it's unrealistic, though. It's unrealistic.
And some of them be lying. Some of those girls be putting, like, pads in and, like, doing stuff. And there's so much of stuff online that is such a lie. Like, there's this one girl I even knew. This was, like, years ago, but I, like, knew her in town. I was like, wow. And I saw her at the gym, and I was like, well, that looks just like her, but it must not be her because she doesn't look like her Instagram. Yeah. And I was like, wow, it is her. You know. So there's so much you can do too with, like, editing and stuff like that.
And, like, being fake about, like, natty or not, like, that's, like, really big for guys nowadays.
I do see that.
Like, if you're gonna, like, hop on performance enhancers, just be open about it. Like, don't, like, feed people all this, like, information and, like, saying you can get to a certain point where if, like, they cheated to get there, like it can be, I guess it can motivate people, but at the same time, like be open about it to help people.
And then truly show them what you did and how to get there. Because at the end of the day, they are looking at your physique and they probably want to get to where you are at. So be honest on how you're getting there so that they can try.
That way it's realistic for them.
Whatever you did.
Yeah, no, this is good. We have a few more questions, but I just want to do like some rapid fire stuff.
Perfect.
Favorite movie?
Nemo.
You sure it's not Kung Fu Panda? I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I'm playing.
That's all right.
I'm a TV show person, so I just.
Can we do TV show?
Yeah, we can do TV show because I don't feel like The Notebook, but like I don't really like movies like that.
I like The Boys. Like
Okay.
I thought the whole Boys series was pretty good.
Yeah. I like The Office. I mean, it's like.
I've never watched The Office.
Really?
Nope, never seen it.
I've seen it. I like Reacher.
Reacher's pretty
Reacher just
good.
came out with new
Season
episodes.
2,
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, favorite sports team or player? I mean, obviously, I love the Packers. Not everyone loves the Packers.
Sports team for definitely the Green Bay Packers because
Right.
we got to stay with the home team. Favorite player?
Can I do I don't really got like a favorite player, but like I like John Jones. He's from the UFC. Like,
The
so
UFC.
Okay, yeah, that's
I like
okay,
fighting a lot. Like
Yeah.
this UFC's awesome, but I'd say John Jones is definitely probably my
Yeah,
favorite
Conor
athlete.
McGregor.
for sure. Okay, other rapid fire questions. What's your favorite trait about yourself? Maybe so it's like one we'll do like an emotional one, maybe like one like a physical one. You know,
Ooh, all right. What one first?
whatever.
I would say physical. Like I worked out a lot since I was a kid, so I'm like pretty proud of like my body right now. I am on the cut. Started a couple days ago. No progress yet, but Smart Cow got me today. But
Smart cow.
hopefully be good tomorrow. But yeah, I'd say definitely just like my overall physique for my body. I like it, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like you should love yourself though.
Yeah.
So
Maverick said it, hashtag love yourself.
Yeah.
And then what's an emotional trait you like about yourself? Like a character trait.
I would say I'm not easily like persuaded to do like bad things. Like I'm like pretty like rock hard solid with what I will do and like what I won't do.
That's
So
good. Yeah, that's good.
I actually did just cut off my favorite trait about myself. I had a beautiful mullet, and it's gone now.
Dang.
So that's gone. But besides that, I like my eye color. I've been told I have beautiful blue eyes. So.
big, beautiful blue eyes.
What's a character trait you like about yourself?
Outgoing, 100%. I will
Period.
talk. I will go up to talk to anyone. I will talk to them about anything.
Yep.
Whether it's
Yeah.
an adult or a little kid, I'll dap up the little homie.
Dap up, yo.
That's funny. No, I think that's good. I feel like it's weird to be like, I like my body too. But yeah, I mean, there's like certain elements of, and especially for women, I feel like a lot of times women don't like their bodies. But
Which is odd though, because I see so many like pretty people on like Instagram or TikTok where they're always like, I look terrible, or like they'll
Yeah.
like post themselves crying. I'm like, what do you have to cry about? Or you look
it's
like
always
an
a
angel.
comparison
Like,
game. But actually, I was having a conversation with one of my really good friends today, and we were talking about like exposure, how certain body types, we watch movies or Netflix shows, and it's like for me, I'm not a blonde with a big butt and stuff like that, and so I'm always like, all these guys that must like that kind of girl. But then you see a different show where there's like a brunette that's maybe like thinner or whatever, and all these guys like her, and it's like, oh, I didn't know this body type was so, popular or whatever it is. There's just so much of the media, how it controls us in a way. But yeah, I would say character trait. I don't know. I think I can be understanding, and I feel like that's nice to have. I don't really know.
Oh, it's easy. That is a great characteristic to have because it's easy to talk to people that are understanding.
Thank you. Thanks, Aidan.
you can be like a therapist for some people. Or like close friends, like they could probably talk to you.
Yeah.
Open up.
If you need to, give me a call sometime, Maverick. About you too, Aidan. All right. Well, we are coming to a close here on the pod. So just as we end a few things here, obviously the guys have given a lot of good information about dating, mental health, really being young. Obviously, they're both optimistic with bright futures. But as we're going into 2024. We're not huge like resolutioners in this house, but we are people who have set goals. So what would you say would really be, I always say one, like, what's your goal for this next year? And then I always say a word because I want to be like, well, what's the word of the year? Like, for example, I would say one of my goals would be like, I want to really prioritize, pumping out quality video content for the podcast and continue to, trust God with my life and like pursue my dreams. And I would say the word for me for 2024 would probably just be, I didn't even think about this. I don't know. Just more life. Maybe like just continue taking life to the fullest and just having as much fun, no matter how crappy it can be. I don't know. So.
All right.
That's crazy. I'm going first.
Bro, come on.
Where I want to be going into 2024.
I can edit that part. Don't worry.
Where I want to be going into 2024 is I want to be mentally and physically able and ready to pursue whatever it is I want to do. So I want to get there. I want to stop being lazy. I want to stop putting things behind myself. And the word for 2024 is mindset. Because I believe that if I can control my mind, I can control like anything, and I can do anything I want to do.
That's good.
All right. I'll start with like the word. For me, it would be like different, because if you walk the same path as everyone else, like I'm sure we all have heard this, but walking the same path doesn't get you to different places. Like everyone that's been great in life, they didn't grow up or they didn't do the same ordinary things. So I feel like you have to do things different, whether it's skipping a party a weekend to do something different, or study harder, go to the gym when you don't want to. Just do different stuff like that to elevate yourself when other people don't. And then where I want to see myself next year is, like right now, like a lot's going on with football and like where I want to be, but I hopefully want to have some of that figured out for next year. Like more of like a life plan and structured goal. So.
For sure. That's good. So one last question before, and I'm going to say this to you guys because how I end my podcast every episode is we go through and say, what's your favorite song? What's a favorite quote? And what do you want your legacy to be? I forgot to, tell you guys that. Okay. But a question I want to ask, last one before we get into that is, you're young guys, and I've had a lot of guy friends. I've gone out with a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys I've gone out with that needed to go to therapy and didn't. It's like, as a young guy that, and obviously a lot of times guys and their friends, they don't talk about their emotions. You deal with stuff, but sometimes you're not dealing with it. It's just a distraction that you're pushing down. So like being 19 years old, how can your parents help support you, or like friends in your life when it comes to, hey, I'm going through a hard time, I want to chop it up. How can people help you really release those emotions and deal with it?
I'd say a way parents can help is, honestly, I've been babied a lot of my life. But a way for them to help you out would honestly just make you do it. Because, like, the more they do for you, the more it hurts you for the future. Like, I don't know how to cook anything. I'm grateful that my parents cook. Like, I wish they would have, like, made me do it. Like, if they didn't cook for me, I probably would have had to figure it out because I would have had to eat. Or maybe doing laundry. Just, like, simple stuff like that. Like, just doing your own stuff earlier in life is better. You might not realize it now. And... looking back, like I definitely would have been better from it. And also screen time. I'm still a phone addict. I won't lie. I'm on there a lot, but I'm really hoping that goes down. Like I've been trying to stay off my phone more, but it's hard in today's world. But I feel like that's a huge time waster, and that can easily be changed. So
for sure.
What was the question again? Can you please repeat?
Is there anything, like as young guys and you're, 19 years old, as we're going through mental stuff or whatever, how can friends or parents support you when it comes to dealing with some of that stuff? Especially with guys. Like, I feel like girls are like, oh my gosh, let's go grab a drink or let's have a chat and talk about life. But like guys, I feel like don't really do that. So how can friends or parents like support you when it comes to you're going through a tough mental season?
I don't know how like
what
deep
would
I
you
want to dig on that. My parents, like that sort of stuff doesn't really happen, but friends especially though, just having someone to talk to. Recently I was alone and I had a little mental breakdown. I texted Tyler and it's just someone to talk to. I didn't really explain anything. Like he just knew I was rough, and he ended up telling me to go home and spend Christmas with my family and go see everybody.
That's good.
So that was like a rough.
I would say be a good friend too. If you know, like, your homie's struggling, like, don't, like, I won't
reach
cuss.
out.
Yeah,
reach out to the people you don't expect need to be reached out to.
For
because
sure.
the people that hide it the best are usually the ones that need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
That is 110% true, and there's always something that someone's struggling with, and you'll just never know about it.
That's so good. And I think one of the biggest things, too, is, like, for me, I'm similar to you where I'm very extroverted. So I'll go to Olive Garden, I'll do this. And you'll notice, like, I'll just sit somewhere and people will start telling me their problems. And one of the biggest things you can do is just, like, to help people is just to listen to them. Because you'll notice it's like, wow, you know, me just saying like, hey, you're actually doing a good job and you're worthy of love. Like, you matter. That could change someone's whole life. You don't even know, you know? So just,
100%.
you know, being there for your friend and like, yeah, that's 100%.
I have another pickup line for the guys.
No.
It does work simply. It may not get you anywhere, but just randomly walking up to a woman and complimenting her and then walking away. It gets you practice on getting over the fear of like going up to them and actually saying something.
That's good.
And it also brightens their day. They'll probably smile. But if you look back, they probably do a double take. You're probably still staring at you. And if they're cute enough, walk back to them.
Yeah.
But that is great practice, and it honestly builds your self-esteem. Even if it's an old lady at Quick Trip, tell her she's beautiful. Tell her to have a good day. Don't be rude and just say thank you and just take your stuff and walk away.
I would say guys need to be more confident.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
as a woman, I would say the pickup line, yes, that's what Aidan said. I think one of my favorite lines that I tell men to use is to tell a woman that she smells good. Women care so much about how they smell that we spend hundreds on perfume. And like when a guy says that,
does that.
When a guy says that, I don't take it like you're a weirdo. I'm just like, oh my gosh, thanks. Like, and the weird thing about guys is I always say one of the best things you can do is like have great hygiene and smell good. Because if a guy walks by me, he could be like, so not my type. But I'm like, oh my gosh, he smelled really good. Like, I'm just thinking about you. You know, and I might even be like, yo, you smell so good. You know, you're just in my mind. So that's why I'm always just like little basic things.
And does the pickup line have to be great, or is it more just the fact that they're actually just going up to you? And
oh my gosh, just going up. My friend and I, we were in Kansas City one time, and we were just laughing with these random people in an elevator. And one of the guys like was outside, and he walked by us, and he saw her again. He came all the way inside and was like, hey, like I saw you. Just want to let you know, like, I think you're so beautiful. Like, my name is Trey, whatever. Can I get your number? And we're just out here, like, nobody does that anymore. We're like, yeah, okay, here's my number. Like, it's just, people are not confident. And I feel like, I mean, people are on dating apps, especially when you're young. But when you're like, man, I really want, like, a quality person. I want something like that. You're looking typically outside of a dating app. So that's just my...
I have one more question for you. Just for your personal preference, is it for you meeting a guy at a bar different than you meeting a guy at like a bakery? Like, would you treat that different?
It's got to be a little different because you know at a bar like guys
I don't
are
go
like
to a bakery really. Okay, so
or like bakery
like walking down the street or something like that.
Okay. Well, I would say like I'm 24, so I mean if I'm at that kind of setting, it's going to be like a bougier, higher end, or like something with sports. Like I don't go to clubs. I don't go to the college situation. So I mean, if I met someone there, that's cool. But like if I'm looking for a serious relationship,
you would go somewhere else other than
I do not go to
so like
a
the perspective
bar
changes it because you know if they're asking you at a bar, it's probably for different reasons then.
Well, and for sure. I mean, I have some friends that have met their person that way, but like. To me, it's like, man, if I met this guy at, like, a networking event, I met him at, like, a football game, if I met him at the gym, like, church, you know, all these things. Yeah, I mean, mutual friends, and he's like, oh, I want to take you on a date. You know, I don't know. I think sometimes, like, think about what you want, and I say, well, are you that person? Right. Like, I have a lot of guy friends, and this is not dogging on anybody, but they'll be like, I want a good Christian girl who, like, is into sports and this and this.
But they don't relate to it?
But they're like, well, I'm at the bars all weekend long, getting super hammered. I'm not fit. I'm not like you want all these things that you're not, you know. So it's like that kind of person. Like if you want to attract that kind of person, you got to be that kind of person.
I feel like that's totally fair though, for 100%. Both ways.
But I mean, some people find their person that way. But I think when you look at pen and paper, it's like, well, if you want someone that's like an entrepreneur that's working hard on themselves, I mean, chances are that they might not be going out 3 nights a week. You know, it's like it's different when you're younger, but when you get to a certain point, you're like, that's not.
I got a question then.
Okay.
So, all right. So I know like these days, like money's a big thing. So like you idealistically, you want a guy that makes money, right?
Okay.
Or like
I do want a guy that makes money, but like I'm not I'm not somebody that's like, you have to have X amount in your bank account.
It's okay if he's hardworking and has good intentions, but doesn't make as much kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. I mean, literally, this is, okay, I exposed myself on my own podcast. So I was just saying my type. So my type is like, my height or taller, brunette or blonde, but it's like, I have gone out with guys my age, guys that are younger, guys that are older, and despite all of it being great, there's something gross to me about like a guy that's older but doesn't have his life together, versus a guy that's younger that, I've gone out with guys that are younger and like make less than me, but they're really ambitious and they're confident, even that I'm older.
And you have the idea that they are going somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
At least trying to. If you have good intentions,
when he has the ambition and the drive and the work hard, and he like doesn't care that maybe he's like a year or two younger than me, but he's like, I'm like, yeah, that's super attractive. Versus a guy that's maybe he's like 29 and he's like, well, I still have a pretty big roster. Like, I'm like, gross, like, bother somebody else,
I feel like everyone's got a roster these days, though. Like, even if you don't want to talk about it or expose it, like...
I don't know. Not everybody... Well, you looking at me?
You definitely got a roster.
Yeah, I have a roster?
I've dated younger, older, you definitely have a roster.
Maybe I don't have time for a roster. Maybe
so if you were to check... I know you don't use Snap, so, like... text, like you're gonna have some dudes on there.
You get to a point where you have people that are interested in you that you're not interested in them, or you have people that are in relationships that try to get with you that you're like,
You expose them kind of people?
No, I don't say
we do not name drop on this podcast.
On the place in my life where it's like I do not entertain people that I like. To me, time is money. So it's like, why on earth would I snap or text 5 guys that I do not care about?
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm in a different place. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask me 3 years ago, and it would have been a completely different story. When I was 22 or 21.
When did you notice like the most like, or the biggest like difference in like mental change and like what you wanted?
In terms of like relationships or
relationships.
I went through a really toxic situation.
So toxic situation changed you?
I was in a really bad place, and I lost some close friends. At this point, I might not keep this in the podcast.
You're good. Maybe. We can cut it right now.
Yeah. But okay. No, we'll just continue. Screw it. So I went through a really, really tough situation like that. Went to therapy for probably a year and a half. But I had a counselor that was a mentor for me. And then I went on. So after that toxic situation, I was like, I have to go out with guys that pursue me. So I went on date after date after date. But the reason why was like, the last dude didn't take me on dates. So I just needed guys to like pick me up and make a reservation and pursue me. And even though like it didn't work out with these guys, I was like consistently being treated well over and over and over. So I had this pattern of like, well, this is how I should be treated. So once I knew how I should be treated, then I started going out with guys that I was more so into. And then I would go out with them and like we had a great night, best date, and then say I didn't like take it farther, they would ghost me, and I'm like, okay, well that sucks, but move on.
Yeah. So you have to move on. You can't stay stuck up on.
Oh, for sure. But that was like kind of the thing of, really understanding like who you want, and that's I hate ghosting culture, and you guys listen up because you're 19. It's the dumbest thing you can do is ghost, and I'll tell you why. Because especially, you're in school and like you're at tech school too. It's like people in your class are future CEOs. They're future movers and shakers. So I'll tell you what, guys that I have ended and friend zoned, or they friend zoned me, we are still friends.
So it's better to be like,
my gosh,
you're like really cool, but like it's just like I don't see a future kind of thing, rather than
so much better. I've told guys like, hey, I just don't think we're a good fit, and they ended up dating my friend, and we're all friends. Guys who ghost me, I say, okay, that's fine, but when I'm rich someday, don't call me asking for my business, because in my mind, it's like, you didn't respect me enough. I don't care if somebody doesn't want to date me. What I care about is like, I talked to you first. I told you so many like private details about my life. Like I cared, and when you ghost, you tell someone you mean nothing to me. So I think in terms of business, Tyler can smile like that, but I'm telling you, the dumbest thing you can do is ghost. Girls, you just tell me like, I don't want, like, let's just be friends. Okay, move on.
Yeah, but what if it's a ghosting for different? Like you said, you went through a very toxic relationship. Are you still on good terms with that toxic?
No, I'm saying no. The block. I got people blocked on like email, Apple Music, Spotify.
Because there's certain a degree like
No,
I don't want to get like real personal.
I'm
but,
saying
show up and like in places.
So it's more like don't ghost.
No, I'm saying no contact is okay. If there were things and you need space, that's fine. I'm saying
Yeah, Aiden, don't go back to that.
no,
Please don't.
No, I'm saying say he talks to a
I'm
girl.
not. Would you say to be friends with them? Like
No,
it's really not.
no,
Like you cannot.
If it's not healthy, no contact. I'm saying if he's snapping a girl for 2 months and then out of the blue just ghosts her.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's like a piece of.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, this is what it is. No, I'm saying that you need to have healthy fun. Okay, so we're gonna end the podcast. So favorite song, favorite quote, and what do you want your legacy to be? And that means like when you're gone, dead someday, what people remember you as.
Anything besides a disappointment. That's what I want to be remembered as.
Hold on. We gotta start over.
We gotta go. Okay. All right. So any legacy?
Favorite song.
Favorite song. Oh, son of a gun.
It can be deep or not.
Rooster by Alice Chains.
Okay. Favorite quote.
I'd have to look that up.
Okay. It can be something. Doesn't have to be deep. Like I always say, like life's a garden.
Can I give a quote?
Joe Dirt.
You know this quote too.
Okay.
It was from a TikTok the other day. It was.
Sorry.
All right, go.
It was may God have mercy because I won't. Like I feel like that's a good one in life because you're gonna have to do things that some people might not like, and like they might think you're like a terrible person, but in the end, like you have to do what's best for you.
That's good.
And like you can do that, and like if you're fighting for a job, certain things, like you're always like fighting for something in life, and like people are gonna get hurt, but like you have to put yourself first. And I feel like if you don't, then you're gonna end up at the bottom.
That's good. That's good. And legacy. What do you guys want to be remembered as?
My legacy is definitely going to be someone that is caring for others. And I like that's really cliche, but I truly mean that. I want to look back and I want people to see like, yes, I could have talked to him. Yes, he came over. I was his neighbor. I helped him. He helped me. I just want that effect.
That's good. Maverick?
Legacy, I would say, is I don't want people to remember me as that, like someone that didn't live up to their potential. Because I feel like I have a lot of potential in life or like, places to grow. I don't want people or like my family especially to be like, wow, he really could have done more with his life.
Yeah.
Or like, I think we've all had like family examples of like, oh, like this person, like this, don't do that. I don't want to be one of those people.
Yeah.
Like I want to achieve greatness in life, whether, one way or another. Like I don't know what it's going to be yet, but like I want to be at a high level of something and be remembered for that.
For sure. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. We'll tag both of their socials. Thanks so much for listening, you guys. So many big updates coming up for the winter season. Podcast Party 2024 #2. So many fun things. But yeah, have a good rest of your year. Figure out what your goal is for 2024. And always remember to keep on keeping up with cash.